Yo, guys, I hope you're well. So, guys, this is a really quick one. The Chechen AKHMAT Commander, Apti Alaudinov, has called for the mobilization of 2 million soldiers for the Russian army. And that is in response to the EU Mafia and its push for war. So, guys, I'm just reading here. So, this was around 24 hours ago. It doesn't seem to have been covered that highly in the media. So, I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But what the AKHMAT commander is saying, and you have to remember that he was a major spokesperson in the Russian army in the Ukrainian region until very, very recently. So, in response to people like Keir Starmer and the speech from Emmanuel Macron a couple of days back, the Russian commander has called for Russian forces to mobilize and to add 2 million more soldiers to the region. So it looks like what I was saying before. I've been posting over the last few days, haven't been so well. I've been posting quite regularly. And I've been saying that this reminds me of the lead up to the First World War, where all of the European countries, and remember at the time, a lot of these countries had their empires. So we had like the Ottoman Empire as an example that was going on, the British Empire, the French had theirs, etc., etc., etc. But all of these countries were, and I call it like machinations, they were moving in the background and trying to mobilize their military and their forces. The inciting incident or the spark was around Sarajevo. We know all about that, Sarajevo. But there was a will for war. And from what I've been seeing over the last few days, there seems to be a will for war, particularly amongst people like Keir Starmer and Emmanuel Macron. So the EU have reduced their borrowing rates because apparently the EU have got a really good credit rating. And what they've done is they've saying to all of the European countries that you need to step up your own defense, you need to step up your military applications, you need to step up your military capabilities. And what we'll do to help you is we will loan you money at a reduced credit rate, at a reduced rating to help you do this. So basically, from what I'm seeing, I'm not saying anyone else has said this, but this is what I'm saying here at my channel at Tornit TV. I'm saying that this is a very similar situation as to what kickstarted and led to World War One. All of the countries, Germany, UK, Britain, France, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I said Britain, I said UK. I mean, we know they're the same. All behind the scenes, they were all, the rhetoric was really on a war footing and a war basis. And this is the rhetoric I'm hearing now. So I'm just going to go into this a couple of moments here now and just to see what else they're saying, because I'm seeing the same thing happening in this situation, in this scenario, as what happened before the crunch of World War One, before the crunch of World War One. And if it makes sense as well. So if you're going to have a war, you need to be ready. You need to have a military capability to be ready. So what they're saying is everyone needs to gear up. So Keir Starmer is saying by 2027, is it 2.5% of GDP, gross domestic product? So it's all gearing up, gearing up, gearing up. Whereas before they were saying it'll be at the end of the parliament, but now it's 2027, within 2 years from now. So, yeah, so what Alaudinov was saying was it was in a response to the French president Emmanuel Macron. Sorry, Emmanuel Macron labeled Russia as a threat to the EU. And he did not rule out a deployment of EU soldiers in Ukraine after peace agreements are reached. But Alaudinov has just said that we, the Russian people, we are a people who have a great historical responsibility. If such a situation arises, we should already think about general mobilization. Gather an army of about 2 million people and put them, which is us, the Europeans, in a position from which they will never get out. And after they want to clash with us, Europe and most of the European states will cease to exist. So I've been saying this for a while. I've been feeling this in my bones. I hope I'm absolutely wrong. I really am, because it will be a terrible thing if I'm correct. But there seems to be a push from all directions for war. And I'm looking at the coalition of the willing. I call it the cash cow. COW, coalition of the willing, cash cow. Macron, Starmer thinks that this coalition will make them rich and make money for their countries. But they see this as a cash cow moment. And it really is this coalition of the willing. But we need to be very careful, and we need to be really foresighted about what we're doing. President Trump is trying to get a peace going on. But whilst Trump is trying to get a peace between the Ukraine and between the Ukraine and Russia, France and the UK are stepping up the process for war. We're stepping up to a war footing. So if you back someone into a corner, just even on a one-on-one basis, if you start and the rhetoric keeps increasing to something which is more and more aggressive, do you not think the other party is going to get more and more aggressive in response? So we started off with, a week or so ago, Trump trying to get an agreement between the Ukraine and Russia. And then from that, which I will call a misunderstanding with Zelensky, Starmer and Macron have jumped on this and have used it to kickstart something which could lead to a war in Europe, or even worse, a world war, which none of us are ready for, none of us want, apart from potentially the EU Mafia. But that's for another day. But guys, I just thought I wanted to tell you about this guy, Alaudinov. Let me try and get his name correct, Alaudinov. And he's saying that if Europe starts to ramp up its machinations for a war footing, then Russia will do that too. And guys, that is exactly what we do not want. We do not want war in Europe. We want peace. And if they can get a peace, please let Trump sort out a peace between the Ukraine and Russia. If a peace cannot be sorted out, then that's something else. But there seems to be a zest and a real zeal from Keir Starmer and from Emmanuel Macron for a war and a war footing for Europe. Guys, let me know down here in the comment section what you think. I'm pretty... I don't even know what to say, because I've been saying for quite a while, guys, winter is coming. And I really do mean winter is coming. And there's quite a lot of reasons why I believe winter is coming. There's a lot of things that have been hidden from us, which is why they are pushing for war. A lot of things that are hidden from us I've been talking about on my other channel. That's why I've got into trouble. But guys, let me know down here in the comment section what you think. And yeah, let's just hope that common sense and greater minds and more calm minds prevail, because if they don't, we are in a world of hurt. Guys, make sure you have a great weekend, what's left of it. Look after yourselves, look after each other, and please come back to the next Torn It TV reaction.